The once tranquil ice and fire island was now in a state of unrest. What is this? As this sudden agitation spread, the other guardians on the 9 layers of the island and the imprisoned criminals began to sense that something serious was happening. Is the source of this fluctuation from the deepest part? A voice of confusion echoed from the 3rd layer's prison, where criminals were held. Earth Ape, what are you up to? Just as the Earth Ape had a moment of doubt, the 3rd layer guardian left his designated space and appeared before it, shouting angrily. Azure-eyed Phantom Unicorn Dragon, you should take a good look at the 1st and 2nd layers. Those two are far more dangerous to us, especially the one on the 1st layer. As for this fluctuation, I fear it came from him. Ha ha ha. Despite being bound, the Earth Ape let out a thunderous roar of laughter. Damn it. The azure-eyed Phantom Unicorn Dragon heard this and immediately stopped hesitating. It twisted its massive body and headed downward. These soul beasts had ties to the Master of Ferocious Souls, and thus willingly guarded the criminals here. However, the criminals on the 1st and 2nd layers attracted particular attention. If anything went wrong, they would be in grave danger. Golden feathered blue butterfly. What on earth is happening? The azure-eyed Phantom Unicorn Dragon arrived in the 2nd layer space and roared as it asked. The guy on the 1st layer seems to be preparing to break the seal. The golden feathered blue butterfly, her vibrant wings fluttering as she hovered in the sea of flowers, gazed uneasily at the lower layer before speaking in a worried tone. Silver-winged flying dragon. What's going on? Not long after, the guardians from the 2nd and 3rd layers broke through their protective spaces and arrived at the 1st layer where Xun'er was imprisoned. This guy, I don't know how, but he managed to break the seal. That seal was personally set by the Master of Ferocious Souls. It was strong enough to imprison a 6-star Do Xian level expert. How did he? The silver-winged flying dragon slowly flapped its massive silver wings as it hovered in the void, speaking in disbelief. At that moment, the 1st layer seal had already been broken, and everyone appeared in the guardian space of the 1st layer. The silver-winged flying dragon had initially believed that no matter how powerful Xun'er was, he wouldn't be able to break that seal. But unexpectedly, the seal had crumbled before him. Considering that humans had recently entered the 9th and 10th layers, the silver-winged flying dragon suspected that these humans were somehow involved in Xun'er's escape. The 1st layer guardian space was dominated by a towering mountain peak that pierced the clouds. At the center of the peak, Xun'er's figure faintly appeared. The other 3 guardians stood in the void outside the peak. Is everyone here? Xun'er took a slight step forward, making himself visible to the 3 guardians. The 3 guardians could now clearly see Xun'er. His entire body radiated a strange and eerie ghostly aura. He resembled a human youth, with short hair and sharp, defined features. However, the most striking thing was the skulls that emerged from his clothing. These skulls didn't appear to be attached, but rather seemed like they were an innate part of him. This beast can't be allowed to escape, or we won't be able to explain ourselves to the Master of Ferocious Souls, the silver-winged flying dragon said gravely. The silver-winged flying dragon, with dragon blood flowing through its veins stronger than that of the Earth Dragon blood crystal, was at the 5-star Do Xian level. Yet even with such strength, Xun'er still sent a chill down his spine. Hold him off. I've sent a signal. Once the experts from the Ferocious Soul domain arrive, he won't escape death. The azure-eyed Phantom Unicorn Dragon roared. Illusory Scales Serpent Waterfall. The azure-eyed Phantom Unicorn Dragon's body suddenly erupted with magical serpent scales that formed a barrage of razor-sharp scales. They shot directly toward Xun'er. Don't underestimate this attack. The azure-eyed Phantom Unicorn Dragon, though not as powerful as the Medusa lineage, was one of the most formidable serpent-type soul beasts. With its 4-star Do Xian strength, this terrifying attack could easily overwhelm any ordinary 4-star Do Xian. Heavenly Feather Silk Net. Unlike the others, the golden feathered blue butterfly focused on defense and imprisonment. Its wings slowly fluttered, and a powerful binding force manifested as a shimmering net of light. It shot toward Xun'er, intending to trap him. If caught in this net, his powers would likely be sealed once more. Flame Dragon Breath. The seemingly simple dragon's breath was, in fact, the most powerful of the three attacks, for this creature's strength was overwhelming. The dragon's breath unleashed by it was faintly approaching the destructive power of the sacred flame's fire. A group of ants. Had I still been the 5-star Docian I was when I was imprisoned, I wouldn't have been able to handle you. But now, the three of you combined are no match for me. Facing the final moves of the three guardians, Yu Hunzi showed no fear, nor did he make any attempt to defend. He acted as if he could easily take their attacks. Yu Hunzi, you're too arrogant. The three guardians couldn't contain their fury at the blatant contempt in Yu Hunzi's demeanor. These three guardians were the pinnacle figures on Ice and Fire Island, but before Yu Hunzi, they were as insignificant as a child's game. Let me show you what true power looks like. After Yu Hunzi spoke, a brilliant light slowly began to shine from his palm. Within this light, there was a terrifying, soul-devouring aura that seemed to swallow everything in its path. What is that? The three guardians' attacks were powerful, but clearly, they would need some time to reach Yu Hunzi. Seeing him act, they couldn't help but murmur. It seems to be a talisman? The azure-eyed phantom unicorn dragon, with her serpent-like agility, instantly detected the secret. Is that the soul-devouring talisman? As the three powerful attacks, capable of annihilating any 5-star Docian, slowly dissipated in front of Yu Hunzi without any resistance, they were effortlessly devoured by the blood-red talisman. Under the mysterious blood-red talisman, the beast eyes of the silver-winged flying dragon narrowed instinctively. Correct. After all these years of suffering, it's time to take a little back from you. As the soul-devouring talisman consumed the three attacks, a surge of combined power from all three attacks slowly returned to Yu Hunzi's body. Yu Hun. Annihilation. With a furious roar, the sound reverberated throughout Ice and Fire Island, and then a cataclysmic beam of energy erupted from the first layer guardian's space on the island. This is the pressure of a 5-star Docian or higher? Some of the evildoers and guardians on Ice and Fire Island trembled as they sensed the overwhelming destructive power. Not good, retreat. Seeing the attack capable of eradicating all three of them, the silver-winged flying dragon flapped his wings and fled towards the outskirts of Ice and Fire Island. A group of ants. Yu Hunzi sneered. If I wasn't worried about the arrival of powerful beings from the ferocious soul domain, I would have annihilated you all today. After speaking, he slowly retracted the blood-red soul-devouring talisman. Then his figure disappeared, leaving only the terrifying destructive force lingering on the first layer. Boom. With Yu Hunzi's departure from Ice and Fire Island, the destructive beam, now unrestrained, exploded violently. In the wake of this terrifying destruction, the first layer of Ice and Fire Island was reduced to ashes, with massive damage spreading throughout. A brilliant beam of light suddenly surged out from the first layer and pierced the heavens. That Yu Hun Sr. is truly terrifying. At this moment, Xiao, who had already traveled dozens of miles away from Ice and Fire Island, looked back and saw the dazzling beam of destructive energy erupting from the altar of Xiao village, accompanied by a terrifying energy fluctuation and the sounds of wailing. Xiao thought to himself, if I were in such a terrifying attack, even with all my strength, I'd likely meet my doom. Let's go. Since Yu Hun has left, it's time to move on to the next stop. The Devourer of Souls, easily sensing the energy disturbance, spoke to Xiao. With that, Xiao speed increased dramatically as they headed towards the eastern continent. The ferocious soul domain covered thousands of continents, each territory vast as the Xinling continent. Such an expansive realm solidified the position of the three domain lords within the ferocious soul domain. Master, why don't we use flight or ride a flying soul beast? That way, we get there faster. Do we really have to walk? Xiao and the Devourer of Souls slowly made their way towards their next destination. Without the Eagle Eye team leading them, Xiao and the Devourer of Souls were not familiar with the route and seemed somewhat lost. Wanna die? Try flying, the Devourer of Souls replied, giving Xiao an exasperated look. The Ghost Realm was not like the human realm. Countless powerful beings in the Ghost Realm had set up anti-flight forces within their territories. So, Attempting to fly would be like signing your own death warrant, as you would be spotted immediately, and sometimes even attacked. As for a flying soul beast, where do you expect to find one now? Hearing the words of the Devourer of Souls, Xiao couldn't help but be speechless. It was clear that, at this point, this seemed to be their only option. So, we'll just have to walk honestly. After all, I vaguely remember there's a rather large city not far outside Xiao village. Inside the city, there's a spatial teleportation array. At our current speed, we should be able to reach it in a few days. But something seems off about this route. Our immediate priority is to get to that city and use the spatial teleportation array to head to the eastern continent. That way, we can save a lot of time, the Devourer of Souls said. Lost? Xiao shook his head helplessly. Clearly, after all that the Devourer of Souls had said, it boiled down to the fact that they were lost. However, Xiao couldn't deny that the eerie ghostly energy in the ghost realm was different from the usual spiritual energy. Coupled with the fact that Xiao carried the ancient ruler of heavenly flames, walking around now was providing him with a significant boost, serving as a form of extra training. It seems I should look around for any passing merchants or travelers. And I wonder how the Eastern Continent competition will be. As he walked, Xiao murmured. The Eastern Continent was one of the 4 great continents of the Soul world, so it was likely to be a place teeming with talented individuals. Don't worry. The geniuses in the Eastern Continent are indeed powerful, but I have confidence in you. The Devourer of Souls grinned. Be careful, someone's coming. You can try asking for directions. The Devourer of Souls spoke slowly, then immediately concealed itself. Upon hearing the Devourer of Souls' words, Xiao gradually extended his soul power, trying to sense what was going on. Through his perception, he could see a scene unfolding not far from him. Shoo! Hee, little lady, with your delicate skin. If my brothers aren't careful and hurt you, it'll surely make your sister upset, said a grim-faced man, the leader of a group of 4 horsemen, standing on a yellow dirt slope. This man emitted a strong, imposing aura. If it was just about strength, he was even stronger than Xiao. Deacon Yi, why waste words with this guy? Just grab her, or the 3rd young master is still fighting with them. They're from the Rain sect, and their power shouldn't be underestimated. Best not to stir up trouble. One of the subordinates couldn't help but speak up. Go, go, go. You don't understand, the leader, Deacon Yi, said as he dismounted and walked toward the injured woman. Scum! If you try anything with me, my sister and father will never let you go, the injured woman said, gripping a fine short sword in her hand. Her beautiful eyes locked onto the approaching man. Hee. Deacon Yi closed in on her, a wicked smile spreading across his face, as if planning something dirty. Bang! Bang! Just as the man stepped close, the injured woman suddenly thrust her short sword upwards with the force of a spring, like a startled bird flying into the air. In an instant, the sharp blade cut a noticeable gash across the man's face, and blood began to flow from it. You filthy woman, you want to drink your punishment first? Strip her, and throw her to the soul beast. Deacon Yi, startled by the woman's attack, lost interest in her and immediately roared. Got it. The other 3 subordinates dismounted, their eyes filled with malice as they advanced on the injured woman. If their boss wasn't going to do it, then they would take the opportunity. After all, this girl was going to die soon anyway. They might as well enjoy her first. Despicable. The merchant caravan was poisoned yesterday, and now my dochi is uncontrollable. As the 3 men approached her with malicious intent, the injured woman's brows furrowed in frustration. For grown men bullying a helpless woman, aren't you afraid of being laughed at? Just as the 3 men were about to succeed, a massive heavy ruler shot through the air toward them at lightning speed, stirring up a cloud of dirt and perfectly stopping their advances. Who's there? Come out. Deacon Yi immediately scanned his surroundings, but he couldn't spot Xiao figure. This is an antidote pill. The next moment, Xiao figure appeared like a shadow, slowly materializing in front of the injured woman. He tossed a delicate little bottle in her direction. However, his body was concealed under a black robe, making it difficult to discern his true appearance. Bang! 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 Xiao Yin instantly picked up the ancient ruler of heavenly flames, and his douqi gathered around it. Thud! Everything happened so quickly that the three men didn't even have time to react before they were swept off their feet by Xiao Yan's powerful strike, crashing to the ground. Even the ancient ruler of heavenly flames in his hand was radiating an intense heat, making it impossible for these three to get up for a while. You brat, mind your own business, or you won't even know how you die. Elder Yi glared at Xiao Yin, his face darkening as he spoke. Though his three subordinates were only 1-star Doxian level, their combat power was still considerable. However, they hadn't expected that 3 1-star Doxian cultivators wouldn't even be able to withstand a single blow from this person in front of them. Where I see injustice, I draw my blade to help. Xiao Yin, after quickly dispatching the three men, put away the ancient ruler of heavenly flames and said. But Xiao Yin wasn't really acting out of a sense of justice. He had simply gotten lost and was about to offer assistance. After all, using his soul sense, he had detected that the injured woman had some kind of secret, and he figured that if he helped her, it would be easy to ask for directions afterward. Kid, you're young yet already possess such strength. Why not join our withered leaf cottage and contribute to a great cause? The man thought for a moment, then spoke up. Clearly, the strength Xiao Yin had shown was beyond what he could handle. He suspected that this might be the young master of some powerful family, here for training. Be careful, this guy is a mid-2-star Doxian level expert. The injured woman quickly swallowed an antidote pill before turning to Xiao Yin and warning him. Less talking, just attack, Xiao Yin replied, paying no attention to the man, as a surging battle intent began to rise from him. Kid, don't let the wind blow your tongue off. Since you want to die, I'll grant you that wish. Elder Yi shouted, his body glowing with brilliant yellow douqi as it slowly enveloped him. He's a powerful Earth-type practitioner, already at mid-2-star Doxian. His Do techniques are not to be taken lightly, so be cautious. The injured woman glanced at Xiao Yin in his black robe, her expression shifting slightly. For some reason, Xiao Yan's true strength hidden beneath the robe was something she couldn't see through, and there was even a hint of fear she couldn't explain. Don't worry about me. Focus on recovering. I'll take care of this guy, Xiao Yin said without hesitation, still facing the imposing Elder Yi. Now a battle soul with the first transformation of the dragon god, and his physical strength on par with an average mid-2-star Doxian, Xiao Yin felt confident that he could handle someone at mid-2-star Doxian without any issue. Rock Spike. Elder Yi, sensing that Xiao Yin was no ordinary foe, didn't hold back. He shouted, and the yellow sand under their feet suddenly coalesced into a dazzling, massive rock spear that shot toward Xiao Yin with a cold, whistling sound. Clang, clang. Xiao Yin remained calmly drawing the ancient ruler of heavenly flames from his back. His douqi surged out, and with a fierce thrust, he shattered the rock spear instantly, using the vast power of his fire-infused douqi. Fire type? Elder Yi frowned as he watched his powerful rock spear crumble. It was clear that Xiao Yan's fire affinity was extraordinary. More importantly, regardless of elemental strengths or weaknesses, the winner would always be determined by the higher level of power. Show me your true abilities. Otherwise, you won't even know how you die, Xiao Yin said with a slow smile, but the expression carried a dangerous edge that made Elder Yi shiver. Kid, don't get too cocky. Elder Yi couldn't hold back his anger anymore as he roared. Earth come, he yelled again, and this time the yellow sand beneath their feet surged up dramatically. Be careful, this is a top-tier immortal-grade Do technique, the Rock Giant. The Rock Giant is formed entirely from Earth-type energy, known for its terrifying defense. This technique creates a being that's a fusion of Earth and energy, capable of both offense and defense. Even a mid-2-star Doxian expert would have trouble dealing with it. The injured woman nodded slightly and warned Xiao Yin. Her own strength was at early 2-star Doxian, and though she was influential in her family, she had been poisoned in their food yesterday and was now at a disadvantage. The moment the Rock Giant appeared, she could sense an overwhelming heaviness in the air. Given that Xiao Yin had taken the initiative to save her, she couldn't help but speak up. The towering rock giant was indeed formidable. Based purely on its defensive prowess, it was likely invincible to most two-star Docians. However, it had overlooked one crucial fact. Its opponent was Xiao. Boom, boom. The rock giant had just appeared when it pounded its massive fists against its chest, letting out earth-shattering roars, as if determined to tear Xiao apart. Swish, swish. Not wanting to waste time, Xiao moved. The ancient ruler of heavenly flames appeared in his hand, its brilliant crimson qi surging forth, enveloping him like a fiery spirit. With unmatched speed, he charged straight toward the rock giant. Fire attribute? You're courting death. Rock giant, tear him to shreds. Deacon Yi, watching his summoned rock giant, smirked with satisfaction. He seemed utterly unconcerned by Xiaoyan's actions. After all, this behemoth had once obliterated a late two-star Docian. A mere early two-star Docian like Xiao was, in his eyes, as powerless as a frail maiden waiting for death. This guy is strong, Xiao murmured as he swiftly moved closer to the giant. But this ends now. No. The injured woman watching Xiao rush headlong at the rock giant was both furious and anxious. He's doing this to save me. I can't let him get hurt. Yet as she tried to summon her depleted qi to aid him, frustration set in. Her energy reserves, though somewhat restored by the antidote pill, remained insufficient. If she intervened, she feared she'd only become a burden to him. Please, don't let anything happen to him. She clenched her fists, her eyes locked on Xiao, her heart heavy with worry. Meanwhile, Xiao remained laser-focused on the rock giant, entirely unaware of her thoughts. It's time. As Xiao reached the rock giant, an overwhelming and terrifying energy radiated from the ancient ruler of heavenly flames. The aura bore a distinct similarity to the heaven-shifting ruler. While the heaven-shifting ruler wasn't of the highest grade, its versatility in both offense and defense made it one of Xiaoyan's favorites. Heaven-shifting ruler. In an instant, the ancient ruler of heavenly flames in Xiaoyan's hand unleashed a dazzling surge of fiery suction and flame energy. Under the injured woman's astonished gaze, the ruler's energy shot toward the rock giant like a fiery meteor. Crash! The seemingly invincible rock giant, having just raised its massive hand to crush Xiao, was immediately engulfed by the ruler's 100-foot flame arc. The fiery qi first dismantled its internal structure, and then the heaven-shifting ruler's devastating attack shattered its core. The once indomitable giant disintegrated into scattered rubble, gradually fading from the battlefield. Impossible! Deacon Ye's face twisted in terror as he watched the scene unfold. Without hesitation, he turned to flee. Going somewhere? Xiao had long anticipated this. His soul power had permeated the yellow earth of the battlefield, blocking all avenues of escape. As soon as Deacon Yi moved, a surge of immense soul energy intercepted him. Don't let him escape, the injured woman urged urgently. If he spreads word of this, we'll be in serious trouble. Damn it, what is this? Deacon Yi cursed as his path was cut off, his face darkening. Thud. Before he could come up with a solution, a massive ancient ruler of heavenly flames, blazing with radiant crimson fire, pierced through his chest. No, still scheming how to escape the soul restriction, Deacon Yi failed to notice Xiaoyan's attack. The ruler struck with unerring precision, extinguishing his life force in an instant. With Xiaoyan's combination of soul power and qi, Deacon Yi stood no chance. In the end, he was effortlessly annihilated. This man, he's unbelievably strong. The injured woman watched as Deacon Ye's lifeless body tumbled from the sky. Her beautiful eyes flickered as she took another long look at Xiao. Deacon Yi is dead? The three men who had been observing the battle from a distance swallowed hard, their faces pale. Even though Deacon Yi wasn't the strongest among us, he was still a mid-two-star Docian. Bang! 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 Xiao was not someone known for being soft-hearted. As he watched Elder Ye's figure fall, the ancient ruler of heavenly flames once again swung out, turning violently to instantly erase the other three. I still underestimated the rebound force of this stone giant. After completely eliminating the four of them, Xiao slowly descended to the ground, muttering to himself, "Are you all right?" The injured woman noticed something unusual within Xiao body and immediately asked with concern. "I'm fine." Xiao spoke softly, and then his dou qi surged once more, directly incinerating the bodies of the four, leaving no trace behind. Seeing Xiao actions, the injured woman couldn't help but grow even more curious about him. After all, anyone with such formidable strength and composure clearly had a significant background. When you're out and about and have to kill powerful individuals from other factions, burning the bodies is a common practice. This is because people from each faction have their souls recorded, and if their bodies aren't incinerated, their factions can easily track them down, which could lead to a lot of trouble. "My name is Yue, from the Rain sect of Yi City. May I ask who you are?" The injured woman spoke softly, her voice like silver bells, gently ringing through the air. After dispatching the four figures, Xiao finally took the time to examine the injured woman in front of him. Yue exuded a faint, mysterious fragrance. Her outfit and skirt accentuated her shapely figure, and coupled with her early-stage 2-star Dou Xian cultivation, Yue likely held a high position within the Rain sect. "I am just a nameless wanderer, out traveling. I seem to have lost my way. Since you mentioned the Rain sect of Yi City, could you guide me there?" Xiao, dressed in black, naturally wasn't afraid of being recognized by Yue. Upon hearing that she was from Yi City's Rain sect, he couldn't help but feel a surge of joy. Within a few hundred miles, Yi City was the only place with such a large city, and its spatial teleportation array was located there. Xiao naturally wanted to go to Yi City to use the teleportation array and head directly to the Eastern Continent competition. "You saved my life. Guiding you is the least I can do," Yue said. However, Yue bit her lip, looking hesitant. "Is something wrong?" Xiao turned and asked, "Are you also heading to Yi City to use the spatial teleportation array to participate in the Eastern Continent competition?" After a moment's hesitation, Yue seemed to have made a decision and asked eagerly, "Why does that matter?" Xiao expression darkened slightly. It was clear he had some reservations, since such matters were personal and there was no need to share them. No. You misunderstood. Yi City does have a spatial teleportation array, but recently, due to the overwhelming number of people using it, there has been some chaos with the array, and it's no longer operational. Yue hurriedly explained, afraid that Xiao would misunderstand. "That can't be," Xiao murmured. "Yi City is the only place closest to me that has a spatial teleportation array. If it's broken, it might be impossible to even reach the Eastern Continent competition on time just by traveling." Xiao fell silent, clearly at a loss. "Do not lose heart," Yue reassured. "This time, it is our Rain sect that is managing the spatial teleportation array. We came here to collect materials to repair it, so we are heading back to fix it. Is that true?" Xiao expression brightened slightly upon hearing this. "But we did encounter some problems along the way." Yue spoke again, her tone tinged with helplessness. "Like those four?" Xiao could already guess. The Withered Leaf Cottage faction that Elder Yi had mentioned earlier might have some connection to the Rain sect that Yue spoke of. In Yi City, the two most powerful factions are our Rain sect and Withered Leaf Cottage. The management rights for the spatial teleportation array have been fiercely contested between us. Every 10 years, the management rights are exchanged. This year happens to be the second year of our Rain sect's management, but the people from Withered Leaf Cottage took advantage of an issue with the array during our management period, forcing us to relinquish control. We refused, which has led to a covert struggle between our two factions, Yue explained. "This guy must have some untold reasons." Xiao thought to himself, observing Yue who had been so forthcoming with her secrets. It was clear she had some hidden agenda. "My father is the sect master of the Rain sect and maintains order in Yi City. My sister and I went out to collect materials to repair the spatial teleportation array. On our way back, we were ambushed by people from Withered Leaf Cottage." Yue continued, "My sister's life or death is still unknown. The materials to repair the space teleportation formation are with my sister. If something happens to her, you probably won't be able to go to the Eastern Continent to compete." In the next moment, Yue's emotions completely broke down. Her voice trembling with tears, she yelled at Xiao Yin. Xiao Yin was taken aback, unsure of how to respond as Yue suddenly acted this way. Sorry. I lost control. Yue apologized faintly, her red-rimmed eyes glistening with tears as she spoke to Xiao Yin. It's okay. The antidote pill is taking effect. In a few minutes, the toxins in your body will dissipate. You should focus on recovering your doqi for now, Xiao Yin said with a smile. Yue nodded lightly, but there was a faint sense of disappointment in her heart. It seemed she had overestimated Xiao Yin. From now on, she would have to rely on herself to recover her doqi. After all, the enemies her sister was facing were far beyond a mere mid-2-star doxian. Sir, if you go straight down this road for 10 miles, you'll reach Yi City. I have some business to attend to, so I'll have to part ways here, Yue said. Her green doqi flickered as she hurriedly ran off in the opposite direction. She's really in a rush. Let's go together, Xiao Yin sighed and shook his head, feeling a bit annoyed. Was this how one asked for help? Are you willing to go with me? Yue's disappointment was instantly replaced by excitement, and she said happily, Let's go. I need to use the space teleportation formation to go to the eastern continent, so we're on a tight schedule, Xiao Yin smiled. Thank you. Yue's face turned red, unsure whether it was because Xiao Yin agreed to go with her or for some other reason. However, Yue was well aware that the black-robed man before her, with an aura faintly emanating from his body, was comparable to an unparalleled beast. Even a typical mid-2-star doxian would not possess such a presence, let alone this man, who was only a beginner 2-star doxian. Soul-severing cave. This cave was located in a region with a complex terrain, filled with winding, dark passageways and sharp stone formations, making it a rather unique place. Third young master, that girl Yue. Elder Yi has already sent people after her. There shouldn't be any problems, several figures in blue robes said to a man with an imposing presence in front of them. These people were from the Withered Leaf Cottage, and their leader was Yishang, the third young master of the Withered Leaf Cottage, a strong cultivator at the mid-2-star doxian level. Originally, Yi City belonged entirely to the Withered Leaf Cottage. However, halfway through, the Rain sect appeared and took half of the fertile land. But the two factions had similar fighting power, so Withered Leaf Cottage could only deal with the Rain sect secretly, not daring to confront them openly. Yue is only a beginner 2-star doxian, while Elder Yi is a mid-2-star doxian. With her poisoned state, her strength has greatly decreased. It shouldn't be difficult to capture her, Yisheng said, his voice calm. Third young master, we've searched the soul-severing cave but haven't found Yurenran. Another group of people slowly approached and reported to Yisheng. Strange. The Rain Sect sisters were out looking for materials to repair the space teleportation formation, and our informants in the Rain Sect told us their whereabouts. Their movements should have been exposed, so how could they? Get them to seal off the entire soul-severing cave. They are heavily poisoned and without food. I don't believe they can hold out for long, Yisheng said with a sharp mind, quickly realizing the situation. Yes. The group dispersed again. Heh, Yurenran. If you had married me when your father proposed to our family, there wouldn't be so many problems now. The reputation of our Withered Leaf Cottage in Yi City cannot be compared to that of any foreign family. And Yue, once I capture you both, I'll make sure to enjoy it thoroughly. Hee hee hee. The eerie laughter echoed through the empty space. At this moment, in a particularly dark and hidden part of the soul-severing cave, several figures appeared. Renran, are you okay? A man, using the faint glow from the crystals in the cave, asked Yurenran. I'm fine. Yurenran bit her pale lips, feeling weak and uncomfortable, but she forced herself to remain calm. These bastards. The only people who knew we were looking for materials to repair the space formation were the higher-ups of the Rain Sect. How could the Withered Leaf Cottage know about it and set up an ambush right after we obtained the materials? A tall, dark-skinned man cursed angrily. Captain Yu, I suspect there's a traitor from Withered Leaf Cottage within our Rain Sect. Once we return, this must be thoroughly investigated. Yurenran spoke again. The area around Soul-Severing Cave is completely surrounded by Withered Leaf Cottage's people. Although Yue managed to escape, she's being pursued by that scoundrel, Steward Yi. I fear. Yu Feng's expression darkened. Their team initially had 20 members, led by the two late two-star Dou-Xian powerhouses, Yu Feng and Yu Ran. Near Yi City, they had moved with impunity. However, on their way back after obtaining materials to repair the spatial teleportation array, they were unknowingly poisoned by Withered Leaf Cottage. Though the poison wasn't lethal, it gradually suppressed their strength. Fortunately, they discovered it early, and before the poison fully took hold, a fierce battle erupted between Rain's sect and Withered Leaf Cottage. Barely managing to escape to Soul-Severing Cave, the battle came at a great cost to Rain's sect's forces. Yu Feng, how many people do we have left? Yu Ran asked after some thought. Sister Ran, we're down to 10 people now. Among them, only you and I remain as two-star Dou-Xian. The rest are merely one-star Dou-Xian. Yu Feng replied grimly. But the ones who ambushed us from Withered Leaf Cottage have two late two-star Dou-Xian powerhouses. In our current poison state, we won't be a match for them in one-on-one combat. At best, the two of us combined might barely hold off one of them, he added, his tone icy. I'll go out and distract Withered Leaf Cottage's forces while you take the materials to repair the teleportation array back to the sect. As long as the array can be fixed, this mission will not have been in vain, Yu Ran said decisively. No way. Sister Ran, the notorious reputation of Withered Leaf Cottage's third young master, Xiao, is well known. If he captures you, who knows what unspeakable things he'll do. I absolutely won't allow it. Yu Feng protested, his normally gentle demeanor hardening in defiance. In Rain's sect, Yu Ran had always been a caretaker, handling all matters large and small. Her approachable nature made her a revered figure among the sect disciples. This is an order. Yu Ran barked when she saw Yu Feng's resistance. Sister Ran, there's no need to say more. Rain's sect can do without us, but it cannot lose you. Rest assured, when I joined Rain's sect, I was prepared for this. Yu Feng smiled faintly, but his voice carried a solemn resolve. His feelings for Yu Ran were a mix of admiration and a desire to protect. Though he knew his humble background would never allow him to marry her, safeguarding her was his way of expressing his love. I agree with Brother Feng, another disciple chimed in. Soon, the others nodded in unison. You all. Yu Ran was momentarily rendered speechless by their loyalty. Who's there? Before they could act, a voice rang out, signaling that someone had spotted them. Yu Ran's figure shot forward like lightning, striking down the Withered Leaf Cottage scout before he could react. Thud. The scout collapsed, lifeless, but not before firing a signal arrow. The piercing sound echoed through the dark cave. Damn it! The poison has suppressed our strength too much. I was a step too late. Yu Ran's face paled as she quickly hid the scout's body. Yu Ran, I finally found you. The commotion drew the attention of Xiao and his group, who swiftly closed in on the area. Our position's been exposed. Yu Feng's expression turned grim as the signal's shrill whistle lingered. With the poison impairing their strength, each use of Dou Qi inflicted unbearable pain, further sealing their abilities over time. The two remaining late two-star Dou-Xian among them had already been forcibly weakened to mid-two-star Dou-Xian, their auras now faint and unstable. Well, Yu Ran, it's been a while, Xiao sneered as he appeared with his men. Xiao, your bullying goes too far. Yu Ran forced herself to remain composed. Heh, no woman I've set my eyes on has ever escaped. Third young master. These two aren't to be underestimated. It's best to finish this quickly, an elder beside Xiao said calmly. Fifth elder, leave these two to me. You can stand guard, Xiao replied with a smile. After all, he was already at the late two-star Dou-Xian level. While Yu Feng and Yu Ran were also at the late two-star Dou-Xian level, the poison they had ingested had weakened them to the mid-two-star Dou-Xian level. With his strength, handling two such opponents, let alone 5, was hardly a challenge. Sister Ran, go now? Yu Feng exclaimed. In a flash, he positioned himself in front of Yu Ran and pushed her away, attempting to use his Dou Qi to send her out of the combat zone. True devotion in times of crisis, but I won't give you the chance. Xiao wouldn't let them escape. Bringing the fifth elder wasn't just to intercept them, but also to retrieve materials for repairing the spatial teleportation array. With those materials, Withered Leaf Cottage's leadership could force the Rain Sect to relinquish control of the array. Without it, the Rain Sect would be gradually consumed. Whoosh! Yisheng swung his sleeve, unleashing a powerful beam of light that shot toward the space where Yurenran was fleeing. Damn it! Yufeng roared angrily as their escape route was blocked. Yurenran, hand over the item, and I'll give you a quick death, Yisheng said, sealing off Yurenran's escape entirely. In your dreams, Yurenran replied with a smirk, facing Yisheng directly. You're courting death. Yisheng roared. His figure turned into a streak of light, disappearing into the darkness as he lunged at Yurenran. Where did Yisheng go? Yufeng murmured, puzzled by his sudden move. Didn't expect you to be of the rare dark type, Yurenran remarked as her eyes swept the dark void, remaining motionless. As a dark-type practitioner, Yisheng's presence merged into the shadows, making him nearly imperceptible to the naked eye. Embrace the darkness. Yisheng's voice resounded again, now echoing from all directions within the darkness. Third Young Master's mastery of the dark type is exceptional. He's bound to shine in the upcoming Eastern Continent competition, the Fifth Elder commented with a chuckle. Black nether palm. A sharp sound tore through the void. Thud. Despite her formidable strength, Yurenran, weakened by the poison and fighting on Yisheng's home turf in the soul-severing cave, failed to locate him. She was struck by a powerful blow, spewing blood uncontrollably. Sister Renran. Yufeng and the others roared, their eyes bloodshot, ready to fight to the death. Yurenran, is that all you've got? Yisheng sneered. Die. As Yurenran struggled to stand, Yisheng let out a burst of laughter, gathering his energy for a lethal strike. Dark Priest, Nether Swamp. A furious roar echoed across the space. As Yisheng's voice faded, an eerie energy surged, threatening to engulf everyone present. Ah! What's happening? The rocks beneath us are devouring our bodies and energy. Panic erupted among the Rain Sect's remaining members. It's the Nether Swamp, someone exclaimed. It seems Third Young Master intends to end this quickly. This move once annihilated a true late 2-star Docian. Using it here is more than enough, the Fifth Elder observed calmly. Die. Yisheng bellowed. Anyone swallowed by my Nether Swamp will have even their soul devoured. Ha ha ha. His manic laughter echoed through the darkness. Yisheng, stop. A sweet voice suddenly pierced the chaos. Yu Wei? Why are you back? Yurenran, her body slowly being consumed by the Nether Swamp, was stunned. She couldn't mistake her sister Yu Wei's voice. Sister! Yu Wei rushed forward, ignoring everything else, toward Yurenran. Running straight into the trap? Die, Yisheng muttered, puzzled by Yu Wei's return without the steward accompanying her. Not that it mattered. Once they were all consumed by the Nether Swamp, everything would belong to him. Why are you walking so fast? Wait up! A complaining voice sounded faintly from behind. Break for me. As Xiao spoke, he also removed his black robe. At that moment, a handsome face slowly came into view, catching everyone's attention in the dark space. As soon as Xiao voice fell, an enormous surge of soul power suddenly erupted from his spirit palace, rushing toward Yisheng, who was hiding in the shadows and preparing to unleash his Do technique. The appearance of Xiao soul attack lit up the dark space, and to everyone's shock, Yisheng's body was now dangerously close to Yurenran. Thud. Before Yisheng could even react, a mouthful of fresh blood sprayed from him. The dark, ominous abyss, an attack that seemed destined to engulf everyone, immediately shattered and slowly dissipated. It's impossible. An immortal realm soul. Yisheng's pupils contracted sharply as fear surged in his heart. Xiao sudden soul attack had dealt an overwhelmingly powerful blow to Yisheng. This guy is so strong. Below, the members of the Rain Sect exchanged uneasy glances as they looked up at the smiling young man in the sky. Sis, it's fine now. This guy is the reinforcements I called. With him here, we'll be safe.